Hello to all my students in Year 7 and Year 8 that study graphic design with me in technology. We have not yet had an opportunity to meet in person. This is because you have rotated into my class when schools were already closed before Easter. And you will know from our online lessons that the project that you have started working on for me and for our class is a book project. You will all be designing books of your own. You have now selected your stories for children, and you will now proceed from the task that we have already completed onwards to understand what it actually takes to produce a book. Today you have submitted your storyboards to me, and we will now start looking at the product of a book, and we will complete a product analysis, and we will be focusing especially on front and back cover. This will be important for us in today's lesson and also in the following few lessons. A product analysis in design and technology is something that you have all already done in the past. You have completed something we call the Access FM. And you have done this with me or with other design and technology teachers that you have had in the past. And you will remember that Access FM is an acronym. It is a word made up of letters, and each of these letters stands for one particular definition. And these are the kinds of definitions that we use in order to interpret what a product is about. So for example, if we take a look at a book, which is what we are now focusing on, we need to understand that a book is a product which has been designed by humans for humans. This means that the product fits certain criteria. It has been completed in a way that we can use it and that we can sell it. It needs to be appealing. So Access FM, if we, for example, want to complete a product analysis of a book, means aesthetics, cost, customer, environment, safety, size, function, and materials or manufacturing. So when I take the book, I have now selected a book for my household, a beautiful book for children, The Velveteen Rabbit. And if I take a look at each of these categories separately, I will start with aesthetics. I will think about how this book is composed and how this product is appealing and attractive. For example, I can notice that the lettering and also the border or the frame is made out of shiny letters. Okay, that is an aesthetic element. It's appealing. It changes something about the overall layout of the book, and it perhaps makes me want to buy it if I want to. Then costs. What might the cost of a book like this be? If I take a look at the back cover, I might find the cost of my book here. I'm seeing a barcode, which reminds me that this is a product which should be sold. And also I'm seeing that it costs $8.95 or Canadian dollars. So usually, if you take a look at the front and back cover of a book, somewhere you can find the information about the costs. If I think about the customer, which is the next criteria of Access FM, I can see that the producers of this book did mention who this book is for. It is recommended for children 4 years and older. If I take a look at the criteria, which is environment, what is the impact of the product on the environment? Is it environmentally friendly? I can, for example, notice the kind of material it is made out of. It is made out of card, which is a material which decomposes, so it is environmentally friendly. Imagine all the books that are made out of plastic or acrylic, which is a material which is far more difficult to decompose. Now, the next criteria is safety. Is this a book which is safe for children to use? And how do I know that? This book, for example, has rounded edges, which means that if small babies or toddlers use the book, they're not going to hurt themselves on the edges, which is a safety element of the producers of this book. Now the size, how big is it? It's smaller than an A4, but it's also bigger than an A5. And function, what is the function of a book? It is for entertainment, it is also for sharing, it is also perhaps a little bit for education. How do we use the book? How do we go through the book? Okay, we can see that each of the pages has a certain amount of text and a certain amount of image. And lastly, material. This is something we have briefly touched upon in the environment section of Access FM. What is it made out of? And what process was used in order to make the book? For your task for today, I would like you to choose a book in your household, take a look at it, study it as a product, and mention and write out, annotate in your today's task, how does this book fit the criteria of Access FM? You will produce a product analysis, your personal study of this object as a product, as a man-made product. I would also like you to consider how you will be producing a book yourself. And especially, I would like you to pay attention to the front and back cover. What kind of information are we looking at on the back? And what kind of information are we looking at on the front? On the back, for example, we're looking at a small image, a blurb or a brief summary of the book, and other pieces of information. On the front, we have a very clear aesthetic title, image, and also the author and the illustrator of the book. How will you design your book? How will you present your images? And what kind of information do you need to present on the front and back cover? This is what I would like you to consider in your today's design and technology task. Dear year 7s and 8s, I really hope that you're safe, that you're well. Keep up the positive spirits, you can do this, and I do look forward to seeing you, and I do look forward to seeing your work. Take care.